Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Says that. Oh, sorry, I need the spotlight. Apologize. All right. Says that. Maxo. Maxo Yama. Show me. Hi. Okay. Hi. Up. Okay, let's warm up. Jumping in place. So for today's class, we're going to focus on just 3 techniques: punching, kicking, and front stance. But we're going to do left foot forward. What we're going to do with that is focus on what your hip does while it transitions between the kick and the punch. I see a lot of people sometimes leave their hip behind when they're doing technique, switch feet. So I want to make sure that we understand in the middle of the technique where your hip's going to move. So that becomes important because if you can't do that, your timing is off for kumite. You need to understand where your hips are, not just your limbs. Okay? Feet together, knees around. Reverse. Left ankle around. Reverse. Knee. And hip. Right ankle around. Reverse. Knee. And hip. Feet apart, hips around. Reverse. Shoulders. Reverse. Arms. Reverse. Crossing. Palms up. Over your shoulders. And twisting. Left leg bent, both feet flat. Right ankle over. Hips down, hands up. Hands flat. Keep your fingers on the ground, legs straight. Forehead to your knee. Other side, both feet flat. Left ankle over. Hands up, hips down. Hands flat. Fingers on the ground, both legs straight. Forehead to your knee. All right. Feet apart, grab your elbows down. Hands on your back, look behind you. Okay. Left hand up, over. Lean back. And reach for your toes. Right hand up, over. Stretch your ribs. Okay, lean back. And toes. Head up and down. Left to right. Ear to shoulder. And around. Reverse. And shake it out. Okay, turn around, straighten your gi. All right, first front. Okay, again, so the objective of this class is we're just doing punching, maeh-geri, and front stance. And we're going to, the objective we're focusing on what your hip does while moving in the stance, while throwing the punch and throwing the kick. So we'll be mixing it up in terms of doing kicks and punch simultaneously, doing stances simultaneously with those. But the focus is where your hips are as you're moving and where your hips are so that you can execute the next move. If your hips are out of alignment with what your technique is, which means that your hips are away from your head, you're going to have trouble executing the next move. So think of this, at all points in time, you want your head on top of your ass, pretty much the entire time, straight up and down, spine up and down. So we're going to focus on that, and some way or another, you're going to be keeping your posture. Okay, so let's start with the simple technique, left hand out, and then gyaku-zuki, and two techniques, one count, maeh-geri, and then the same hand as the leg, gyaku-zuki shoot on. So maeh-geri shoot on, gyaku-zuki shoot on. Okay, so no speed, no count, just making sure that there's good timing. Ready? Itch, knee, some, she, go, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Okay. Now this time I want the time to be slightly different if you're not already doing it. I don't want this. Kick, stand, punch. The moment your kick starts coming back, your hand should be coming out such that your fist and your foot are going to land at the same time. So again, kick as you're doing hikiashi, the other hand comes out, and boom. Oh, I'm sorry, the camera obscures that. So kick, and then the moment the foot comes back, hands coming out, land at the same time. Okay. So again, same speed as before, but focus on the timing. Land and punch at the same time. Okay, again, left hand out, no speed, no power, just focus on timing. Ready? Itch, knee, some, she, go. Feel like you're stepping into the punch. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. A little bit faster now. Remember, keep the timing. Hand and foot land the same time. Itch, knee, some, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Okay. Now, same hand, same feet, except now adding stance. So starting in shizentai, left hand out, maeh-geri, land in gyaku-zuki. So again, same thing. Your foot, the moment it starts coming back, your hands going forward, and the moment your heel plants, so do your knuckles. Okay. So not this. Not two techniques. Really 1.5 techniques. First half, 1.5. Okay. So blend your techniques together so that they start and finish. They finish together. Okay. So I'm going to do it from the side here so you see the timing. There we go. Okay, so again, starting from gyaku-zuki, right hand punching, left leg kicking. Okay, ready? Left hand now. I'm sorry, right hand and right hand, right leg, both punching, kicking. Ready? Stepping back into stance, your right leg each time. Ready? Itch. Back. Knee. Back. Some. Shi. Giovanni, punch and kick with the same hand. So in this case, punch your right, kick with your right hand, punch with your right hand. Okay. Your left hand just does my hiki. Okay. Sheet. Go. Good, Giovanni. Roku. Step back, Giovanni. Shichi. And back. Hachi. Giovanni, your right leg kicks and your right leg steps back. So you feel like you're doing the Superman. The right hand goes forward while the right leg goes back. Q. Ju. Okay. So this time, same leg kicking. Start with your right leg forward. I want you to do this. Right leg kicks, left hand punches, same time. Then right hand punches, gyaku-zuki. So again, starting right hand forward, kick, punch, same time, and retract. Okay. So the idea is 2 limbs going out. 2 limbs going out at the same time. 2 limbs going forward, then 2 limbs going opposite directions. Okay. A lot of body movement here. Okay. Once you start speeding this up, I'll start pointing out the torso. Okay. Ready? So again, right hand starting out, punching with your left leg, left hand first, kicking with your right leg first. Let's do this medium speed. Itch. So the second half technique looks the same. Keep your right hand out. Sheet. Okay. Punch your left hand first. Go. Look. Sich. Hutch. Q. Ju. Okay. A little bit faster now. Again, starting shizentai, dropping your weight. Ready? Itch. Time the hand and foot. Both the hand and foot kick and punch at the same time and land at the same time. Okay. Right hand out. Itch. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Roku. Shichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Yama. All right. So 2 things at once, both times. Yeah. So let's do the other leg first. Let's start first with just 1 punch, 1 kick. Okay. So start with your right hand out. Okay. So kick with your left foot, stepping back with your left foot, punch with your left hand. Okay. So again, stepping back each time, only your left leg and only your left hand punch. Okay. Ready? Let's take it slow first. Itch. Knee. Some. Only left leg, left hand. Shi. Go. Roku. Shichi. Hachi. Kyu. Ju. Now remember, don't shortchange the leg movement. So don't do this. See, my feet are both in the red line. It's not really a stance. Hold the leg back. Okay, that's pretty much twice the distance I stepped back first time. First time I just kind of stepped up and kicked right here. So remember, you're dropping into stance, which means you're going to go sniffly further back. Okay. So again, left leg this time. Start with your left hand forward. Kick left leg. Punch right hand. And on the way back, punch left hand. Retreat into stance with your left leg. Okay. Remember, both limbs go forward, then both limbs go out. Okay. So make sure it's not 4 different moves, but 2 counts per se. Okay. If you have to go slow, get the timing first. If you don't have the timing right, you can't speed up. Okay. Starting with your left hand out, punch with your right hand, kick with your left foot, then step back and switch. Ich. Keep your left hand out. Knee. Sam. Shi. Go. Roku. Remember, drop weight, Shichi. My head is sniffly lower, not just I'm moving backwards, but I'm also going down. Hachi. Kyu. Ju. Okay. A little more speed now. Not full speed, but get the timing down. So 3/4 speed. Ready? Ich. Knee. Sam. Shi. Go. Roku. Shichi. Hachi. Kyu. Ju. All right. Any questions about the timing or the movements itself? Hopefully these are simple enough, but I'm tightening up the timing that no one's gonna have any trouble here with at least the techniques individually. Okay, next part. So this time we're gonna stay in stance and work from stance rather than stand high, okay? So, but still, I want you, just like before, when you were here and your skull and hips were in a line, keep them in that line, okay? Don't let the fact that you start in stance make you lean into the kick or lean to the punch. So make sure you're keeping your torso, your weight on top of your hips. That's gonna become a little harder. The reason why we do that is later on in the drill, we're gonna work on some reaction timing. If you don't have that posture, you won't be able to react in time. Okay, so this one, left leg forward, get it back. Mike. Again, starting with right hand out, gyaku-zuki. So stepping, let me start from here. So my foot's on this red line. So stepping, kicking. My spine is above the red line. Then step in. Okay. Then reset the gyaku-zuki. You don't actually punch the gyaku-zuki, but reset in there. Okay. And then on the way back, maeh-geri, kick, and step in, gyaku-zuki. Actually, don't reset the gyaku-zuki. We'll keep your hands. So the first count, right hand forward, left hand forward. 1, stepping in, 2, oi-zuki. Going back, front leg kicks, left hand punches. 2, step back, 3, gyaku-zuki. Okay, so going back and forth across the line. Make sure you're keeping your balance, okay? So 1 count, 2 techniques slowly. 1 count in, 1 count back. Okay, so start left leg forward, right hand out. Okay, ready? Itch. Going back, front leg, right leg still kicks. Knee. Okay. Remember, you're gonna kick and punch at the same time. And while you're kicking, only your left hand punches. When you land, only your right hand punches. Shi. Go. Sich. Hutch. 2. Ju. Okay. In, back. 2 sets, 1 count. Okay, but take your time. Make sure you land. So 1 count looks like this. Okay, take your time. I want timing before speed. Okay, ready? Itch. Knee. Some. She. Roll. Roku. Suchi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Yama. All right. So again, I'm not pushing for speed on this. I'm pushing for coordination of timing. We'll do speed when we do the reaction drill. Yeah. Other leg. So right leg forward, get him back. Right. Okay. Left hand out. So again, only kicking with your left hand, left leg. And when you're kicking, you're only punching your right hand. When you land, you're only punching your left hand. So landing punch, left hand. In air punch, right hand. Okay. So again, 1 count in, 1 count back. Okay. Left hand out first, right leg forward. Ready? Itch. Knee. Some. She. Roll. Roku. Sichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Okay. 1 count, in and back. So each count, end up to your left foot rear. Remember, don't slow the middle to speed up the end. Make sure it's consistent speed. So again, don't do this. Should be smooth in and out. So if you were to do them continuously, continuously smooth, okay? Get your timing right and your speed will pick up. Okay? Remember, your hands are fast. They'll catch up to your legs. Don't worry. Left hand out, right leg forward. Okay? 1 count, 1 cycle, in and out. Ready? Take your time, but make sure it's smooth. Itch. Knee. Some. She. Roll. Hoku. Sichi. Hachi. Kyu. Ju. Yame. All right, relax. Take a breath. Any questions about that technique with stance involved?
I have to say, my second kick is always really lousy.
This one's always hard. To be able to step back and kick at the same time, which means you have to control your hip. If you try to kick your hip back and then kick, you won't have a kick. So really, you kind of have to push in and then pull back. So your supporting leg is going to do a lot of work. It's going to first push and then pull. And the metric of that is if your spine stays up, that means your legs are doing the work. If your spine leans, then you're relying on something else. So I'm glad you brought that up because it is hard to pull a front leg maeh-geri without having a long, strong, supporting rear leg. Okay, next part. So when doing maeh-geri, there's kind of three distances you can work with. So I'm going to use my kicking dummy here for an example. So I'm going to start with front stance with my left leg on this, on here, and I'm going to kick this target. Now, this target is pretty much within a stance. So right now, the foot of the chair is pretty much near my heel. So it's extremely close target. In fact, this would probably be just outside gyaku-zuki. So if I want to kick someone here, I can't really go into them. So here, I'm going to keep my supporting weight hip behind my heel and just kind of chip at him. Okay, so I keep my weight behind there. And that's a short kick. Okay. The kick we were doing earlier was where we had our hip on top of our heel, so it's a little bit longer. So for that one, I'm going to put the target right about in front of where my toes are in one stance. So if I step back, and if I hike up so that my hip is right above my heel, that's about the distance we were doing in the drill. Next one is what everyone does. They step in and kick. If I were to step in and kick, boom, I would go beyond the target. So for this one, I'm going to put beyond my toes, maybe a really long stance. Okay. So for this one, I'm actually going to push my hips ahead of my toes when I kick. So the idea is right here, my hip is ahead of my toes. So here's a long kick. Here's a medium kick. And here's a short kick. I moved. So what I want to focus on today, as in doing the drill, focus on what type of kick you're going to do, because if we do reaction timing, you may need to go short, person's right in front of you, medium, if they're a little bit further away, or even longer if they're further out. So for the reaction part of this drill, we'll be focused on what type of kick you're doing. The hands will still do the same thing. Okay. So for the first one, I'm going to keep my spine behind here and just keep my weight back. For the second one, I'm going to put my weight on top of my heel and go back or go forward. And the third one, I'm going to kick long, but step into it. Okay. Same hands, same legs, different hips. Okay. Any questions about those three different types of hip kicks? Okay.
Are you doing open hip when you do the third type, the long range one? Or are you keeping it close?
No, for this, I generally don't do open. I don't, so Alex is asking if I do hamni or maya. Since I'm going forward, I want to preserve the tightness of my hips when I make contact, You can turn sideways, but I'm going to get more of my energy from translating in and hitting than if I were in front stance here and try to kick my front leg. I can only get energy from rotating. So I'm not saying you can't open your hip, but for this one, I want a nice square hit as opposed to sideways hit. So in this case, for this drill, I want your hips maeh the entire time. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Let's do 10 short, 10 medium back, 10 medium forward, and 10 long. Okay, so again, the first one, my hip stays behind this red line. The second one, my hip isn't going on top of the red line. But I'm going to step back. The third one, same thing, except I'm going to step in and punch oi-zuki. Step back. So again, stepping in. And the third one, and the fourth one, I'm going to step all the way through, long kick followed by oi-zuki. Okay. So again, same hands, same leg, different hip. Okay. So again, this is not speed. Go about half speed, but make sure you're working your support leg. Your left leg right now is going to get about 40 reps. You're going to feel different each time. Sometimes hip behind the knee, sometimes hip above the heel, sometimes hip in front of the heel. Okay, so starting left leg forward, right hand out. Again, same thing. When you kick with your right leg, you're punching your left hand. When you're landing, you're punching your right hand. Okay, so let's do 10, keeping your hip behind your heel. Okay, short kick. Ready? Itch. Now step back each time. Right leg step back. Knee. Some. She. Go. Boku. Remember, keep your butt behind your heel. Shichi. Hachi. Q. You should feel like you're pushing backwards with your front foot. Q. Okay. This one's slightly different. Again, roll your hip on top of your heel. Okay. But step back still. So your head is going to translate a little more. Okay. Last time you were trying to keep your head in place. Ready? Itch. Knee. Some. She. Remember, not speed, but timing. Roll. Boku. Shichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Okay. Now next 10, still kicking in same place, but then stepping in oi-zuki. Okay. So again, after you kick, you're going to push with your supporting leg to get you into oi-zuki. Okay. So don't step into maeh-geri, step on top of maeh-geri, and then step in. Okay. So this is a medium distance kick, not a long distance one. Right hand out, punch with your left hand, kick with your right leg. Ready? Itch. And step back. Keep your right hand out. Knee. Some. She. Go. Boku. Try to speed up the second transition. Shichi. Hachi. Ooh. Q. Ju. Back. Now the one that everyone's familiar with, the chasing kick. Well, literally, after you kick, you're trying to pull your foot back and land that punch. Okay. So all the movement is the first half of your supporting leg. Let your leg fly, then land in that oi-zuki. Okay. Your hip. Should be in front of your heel by the time you make contact, and then down. So ideally in this case, my foot and my punch end up at the same distance. So this is good for a stationary target at a distance. Ready? Chase them with the kick and chase the kick with the punch. Right hand out. Ready? Reach. Knee. Some. Keep your spine, keep your spine. She. Go. Roku. Sichi. Hachi. Q. Q. Bah. Yame. All right. So after I gave your left leg a punishment, now it's time for the right leg. Everyone's knees doing okay? If anything, your left leg should feel it, not your right. Your left leg was doing all this different articulation of keeping the weight behind, keeping the weight on top, keeping the weight forward. So same hands, same legs, different hip. Okay. Next side. Right leg forward, get him back. Mike. Again, first 10, keeping your hip behind your heel, doing a short kick. Second 10, keeping your hip above your heel, stepping back. Third set, same thing, stepping in. And fourth set, chasing down. Okay, everyone got it? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Again, not speed, timing. Once you get the timing down, speed comes naturally. Starting with your left hand out, right leg forward. Remember, gyaku-zuki with your right hand in air, landing with your left hand punching, okay? Keeping your weight behind your heel. Okay? Itch. Try to keep your head in the same spot. Knee. Some. She. Go. Roku. Suchi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Now, putting your hip above your heel, kicking, stepping back. So your head, my head is going to move forward and back in front of my gi on top of the couch there. Okay, so left leg, left hand forward, right leg. Ready? Itch. Knee. Some. She. Go. Roku. Keep your stance low, Giovanni. Sichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Stepping in. Now, here's one secret of maeh-geri. Your leg, supporting leg, does not straighten until your hip passes your heel. If you straighten too early, you're going to go up. You don't want to go up. You want to go in. So keep your knee bent, You are, sorry. Keep your knee bent, and when you step in, straighten it. Or else you have no power to straighten. So again, when stepping in from maeh-geri, your supporting leg doesn't straighten until your hip passes your heel. Okay? So again, right leg forward, left hand out. Stepping in, kick, then step in. Okay, ready? Itch. Knee. Some. She. Go. Let me switch legs so you can see my supporting leg. Roku. Sichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Remember, when you kick, ikiashi. So I tell people when you kick, from maeh-geri, first you kick yourself with your heel, then you kick them, or then you kick yourself with the heel again, then you put your foot down. So kick yourself twice, kick them once. Last one, stepping in, kicking, chasing them. Okay, so again, you're going to kick, punch. So by the time you kick, your hips should be ahead of your heels. Almost straight leg supporting. Okay, left hand out, right leg forward. Ready? Itch. Ooh, my neighbor's not gonna like me. Knee. Some. She. Roll. Roku. Suchi. Hachi. Kyu. Ju. Ah. Relax. Okay, take a breather real quick. Okay, next, reaction timing. So the idea is that I feel like when you're trying to react against the camera and you see someone move, it just, truth be told, I'm always gonna win because the network lag. So we need to calculate ourselves on absolute. So thanks to my phone, I was able to calculate some physics and the rate at which things drop. Something times 9 meters per second squared. So, which means, calculating down, if I put this above my head, which I need to raise this camera. All right, so if I put this above my head, that's about 7 feet. I'm about a little 5, I'm about almost 6, so this is about 7 feet. So the time it takes for me to release this and hit the ground, according to math, is about 2/3 of a second. Okay. If I drop in a stance, it's about 6 feet, maybe a little more. I drop it from here. That's about 6/10 of a second. So, which is plausible for the amount of time that you need to react to something between when it leaves my hand and when it hits the ground. So, unfortunately, kinesiology says that reflexes are 2/100ths of a second. So, that means we take out 6/10 minus 2/10 is 4/10. So you have a little under half a second to react. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how fast you are. So I drop this, okay, I should be able to execute everything and land before this hits the ground. So here, let me go the other hand here. So, oh, I'm sorry. Ready? Itch. So that means that was about 0.6 per second because obviously I'm letting go of it. So let's say I go a little lower, about 5 feet, and drop from here. That's about 0.4 per second. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to drop this, and you're going to react to it. Now, based on network speed and all that, it's the same amount of time between it leaves my hand and when it hits the ground. Okay. So for the first part, we're just going to do a simple one. Just kick, punch, step back, punch. The shortest one possible. Okay. So we'll do 10 counts, and I'll hold it about 7 feet high. So hopefully I'm still in frame. Let me match up my hat here. So once you see this drop, you need to go before it hits the floor. Okay. Let me turn my camera up a little more. So. Okay, good. Ready? On my side, it hit the floor before any of you move, but I understand there's a network lag, so we'll go with that. Ready? The feeling you have is called zanshin. This is hilarious to watch you guys move a full second later, but I know you guys are seeing it in real time on your side. Not bad. Moving quick, moving quick. Remember, your foot and hand need to land before this hits the ground. Doing good, doing good. That's okay. Sometimes some people move faster. Okay, other side. Switch legs. So again, you were left leg forward, now you're right leg forward. Right leg forward, left hand. Again, punch, kick, land. Okay. Ready? Remember, you're trying to beat gravity. This is a constant. Exact same time each time. It just matters on what your reaction is. Seven feet, 2/3 of a second. Good. Remember, make sure the kick's all the way out. Don't shorten it here. Make sure it's out. I don't care what your hip is, but I care how your knee ends up being straight at some point in time. Either someone's signal froze or they didn't see it. Oh, Penelope, you're taking it early. I'm not even making noise. Well, again, that's why you win kumite, because you know when someone's about to move. Okay, so next one, reaction timing. So again, that was the same thing each time. Kick, step back, punch. So now we're going to do it one of two ways. Okay. Either, let me get another shirt. Okay. Can anyone see I have red and green in my hand? Let me get a bigger red shirt then. This tape is not going to work. Give me a second here. So I want to make sure you can see it.
Use your baseball cap.
No, it floats. Well, I mean, okay, so they're both Washington Nationals hats. That's one Washington Nationals original. This one's Washington Nationals with my school emblem. So, okay, so we got red and green. Uniquely lined up in a hat. So here's the idea. If I drop the red one, that means you stay in place and kick punch. If I drop the green one, that means you go forward and chase them down. So red means stay where you are, green means chase after them. Okay. So let's start left leg first. This is reaction timing. Okay. So I only drop one at a time. So this is my green hand, and this is my red hand. Okay. So make sure you know which one's which. Okay. But you got to keep eyes on both. Okay. I'll put them as high as possible. Okay. This is reaction time. Left leg forward. Okay. Left leg forward, right hand forward. Okay. Remember, if I drop the green one like this, what happens? Yes, you step in. If I drop the red one like this, what happens? You stay in place. Good. So this is sizing up an opponent. You can do the same thing. Kick, step back, or kick, step in. You can start the move the same way. Either they come in at you, or you're chasing them. Same thing, start the same way. The only difference is how you finish them. Okay. Ready? Good. Remember, you always have that pause in your moment. They could do anything at any time. So you can see it hit. Oh, Robin, you always stepped in. You're getting tailed. This is the advantage. I can see all of you. I can see who still makes a mistake. It's great. Chase them. There we go. Alex, you got hit. Remember, just because the opponent relaxes doesn't mean you get to relax. Come on, Leopold. Just because you won the match, just because you lost the point doesn't mean you won't lose the match. Well, maybe that will cause you to lose the match if you don't respond. Remember, the opponent can move at any time. You get 2 minutes of some free sparring. Most of that time is not punching and kicking. Most of that time is sizing up your opponent, figuring out where the opening is, what they're going to do next. Yeah, there we go. Okay, switch legs real quick. So instead of left leg forward, right leg forward. Okay, so other side this time. Same technique, still responding to the cues. Okay, so again, let's try it again. If I drop the red one, what happens? Stay in place. And if I drop the green one, move in. All right. Now we get that sorted, let's start. Remember, this is your opponent. I'm simplifying down to a t-shirt, but at any point in time, they can move in a different way. So this time you're chasing them. You know, sometimes after you're chasing them, you're still chasing them. There we go. There we go. We got the timing. Hand and feet, same time. Okay. And sometimes after you chase them, you're still going to chase them. And of course, sometimes they just stay there. This is what it feels like to be in a fight. You have that anxiety the entire time. Maybe they're sizing you up. Maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're still waiting. At any point in time, they might move. There we go. So right now I'm putting a simple trigger in place. Of course, you're always looking for different cues, but this is getting your body timing correct. That's Sanjin. After doing the move, still an open mind, waiting for the next opportunity. Because we all know you don't score in the first hit sometimes. Sometimes it takes 2 hits. Sometimes you have to chase them down. And after you chase them down, they'll stay there, and then you can hit them. So again, Zanjin, open mind. Always aware. All right, yame. Okay. So again, getting your timing down correctly first allows you to move quickly. So if you just try to rush it, you don't have torso control, you don't have hip control, you can get beat every time. You give a clean movement, then you can move faster. A well-oiled machine moves fast. Okay. Okay, so that's been about an hour. So let's go ahead and close out class. Thank you very much for coming. So again, let's get ready for end of class. Says up. Maxo. Maxo yame. Dojoku. Seek perfection of character. Be faithful. Endeavor. Respect others. Refrain from violent behavior. Shomani. Right. Akane. Right. Yes. Thank you. I'm gonna hit the button here.